Hello everyone, welcome to the presentation on DISE school data visualization. As part of this presentation, we'll be looking into various factors which affect the enrollment of the students in the government schools. We'll be looking into multiple factors such as water facilities, classroom infrastructure, electricity, road conditions, toilet facilities, midday meals, the number of teachers, the computer facilities on the enrollment of the students in government schools. The, uh, the analysis is based on the DICE dataset, which is published annually and contains the information on the various districts all over India. The group members for this project are Ashish Mohanty, Girija Shankar Behra and Gopal Krishna Chaitanya. Let's get started with the story points. So in the first one, we are looking into the state-wise literacy, where we can see most of the states are represented in red, which means that in 2008, the overall literacy was less than 65%. Once we move along the years, we can see that the states are changing its color to green, which means that the literacy rate in India is increasing. And most of the states are above 65% of literacy, apart from a few states such as Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Bihar and Tripura, for which the literacy rate is still below 65%. Let's moving on to the next visualization, which is on demographic enrollment analysis. In this we can see the number of enrollments of each states. So the states which have very less count of enrollment are displayed in green, and the ones which have very high enrollment counts are displayed in orange. In this case, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal have very high enrollment counts. Let's move on to the next one, which is regarding the classroom development status versus area-wise enrollment. In this case, we will analyze whether the classroom condition is an important factor for enrollment of students. In this case, if we look into Bihar, it has enrollment to development ratios as 73.66, which is very high, which means that for a classroom with good classroom condition, the number of students enroll into the classroom is 73.66, which is a very good number. And if we look at the R squared value, it is 0.646269. So which means the R squared value is quite high, and it signifies that the data between classroom condition and the enrollment data are quite correlated. So which is a very good sign. Moving on to the next one on the number of teachers versus the enrollment. In this case, we can see the states of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, they have very high enrollment to teacher ratio, which means that for a particular teacher, the number of students joining in Bihar is 54. And in case of Uttar Pradesh, it is 33. And for other states such as West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh and Assam, for this the enrollment to teacher ratio is quite low, which means that for a particular teacher, the number of students joining the school is quite low. If we look at the R squared value, it is 0.85, which means there is a very high correlation between the total teachers and the area-wise government enrollment. Moving on to the next story point, here we will analyze the various facilities which affect the enrollment data. Let's start with the water facility. In case of water facility, we can see for the states of Bihar, for a school having a good water facility, the number of students enrolling into the class is 144. So which is a very good number. Moving on, if we see Uttar Pradesh, it has enrollment to water facility ratio as 40.8, which means for a school having a water facility, the number of students joining it is 40.8. The R squared value is also 0.708241, which means that having a water facility in a school is an important factor for the students to join the school. Moving on to the next one, which is regarding the electricity facility. Electricity facility, if you look at the R squared value for electricity facility, it is 0.57, which signifies that for most of the schools, this factor may or may not be important for the students to join the school. For the states like Jharkhand and Chandigarh, they have the enrollment to electricity ratio is quite high. So which means for these states, electricity is quite an important factor. For other states such as Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, in the states the government can look into improving the electricity facilities so that it becomes a major factor for the students in order to join the school. Moving on to the next one, it's regarding the computer facility. The computer facility doesn't seem to be a very quite important factor for the students to join the school since the R squared value is 0.37 only. In states of West Bengal here, the schools with the ratio between the enrollment to computer facility is 1285. So which means for a school having a computer, it attracts 1285 enrollments per school. We can look into it in another way. So if the enrollment is quite high for their states, the government can put more computers so that they can provide quality education to the students. Let's move on to the next factor, which is regarding the all-weather roads. So in this case, for the states such as Bihar, the enrollment to roads ratio is 309.5, and for Chandigarh it is 568.5, which means for a school having better road facilities, it attracts a large number of students. So in contrast, the states of Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal, they have very low enrollment to roads ratio, which means it's not an important factor for the states. The government can look into improving the all-weather roads in the states so that the number of enrollments also increases. Moving on to our last story point, in which we have looked into the midday meal program started by the government of India, and also we will be looking into the toilet facilities. So in case of the schools with kitchen facilities, we can see that the number of enrollment to kitchen facility ratio is quite high in case of Bihar and Puducherry and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So in this case, a school having a midday meal program or a kitchen facility attracts lots of enrollments. In contrast, the students in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and West Bengal are not quite attracted to the schools which have the midday meal programs. If we look into the R squared value, it is 0.69. So which means overall it is a very important factor and important factor to attract the number of enrollments in the government schools, and this is one of the major steps taken by the government of India in the right direction. Moving to the toilet facilities, in this case we can see that the toilet facilities also plays an important role, and with the R squared value of 0.63, and in this case we can see that the states of Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, they attract lesser number of people with the toilet facilities. In contrast, the states of Bihar and West Bengal, they attract more number of students for the schools having the toilet facilities. Moving on to the last two visualizations, which is regarding the variation in enrollment. In this case, we can see that the states of Bihar, West Bengal and Odisha, Chhattisgarh, in this case, the number of teachers enrolled into the schools into the government schools is quite positive as compared to the private schools. If we go below, then we will see that the enrollments in the states of Uttar Pradesh, Nagaland and Manipur, in this case the enrollments of teachers in the private schools is quite high as compared to the government schools. If you look at the number of repeaters over the years, we will see that the number of repeaters, it's gradually decreasing over the years, and in 2014 the figure has come very much below the average figure of 69 lakh 6,876. So we can conclude that the facilities such as the midday meal program, the water facility, electricity facility, the school condition and the toilet facility are the major factors which impact the enrollment of the students to the schools. Thank you.